The game is basically over with OKC up by 28. But look at Wemby here. He pounds Chet so hard that the guy flew a step back. Then, sensing that it wasn't enough, he almost ended his career with this botched dunk. As you saw in that clip, he clearly didn't care about the score, nor care about passing the ball. All he wants is to destroy Chet Holmgren in that sequence. And from the way I see things between them, it has become personal for Wemby. And some of the folks from the media also noticed this.
But what I love about both of them is they're competitive. These guys want to win. I love that they don't like each other.
Yeah.
They really not like each other, though, or is that we making that?
No,
they
no.
actually don't, right?
So why is Wemby super mad at Chet? Well, Wemby is mad because Chet is closing in on his rear view and about to overtake him in the Rookie of the Year race. So when the season began, everyone was riding on the Wemby hype train as he was dominating teams left and right. At that point, almost everyone was convinced that it's gonna be a one-man race, and it's not going to be close. But things changed when the Spurs started losing a bunch of games, while OKC, on the other hand, kept climbing the standings. Chet was one of the big reasons why OKC skyrocketed on top of the West, and because of that, the NBA named him Rookie of the Month for November and December. However, if you're tuning into Spurs games lately, Wemby has flipped the script once again by doing a major change in his game. And if he continues to play like the way he's playing right now, Chet is going to be in big, big trouble. Now, I'm saying this because of just how Wemby is trending as of late. But don't get me wrong, the season is still long and Chet can still catch up. But see, despite winning back-to-back Rookie of the Year honors, a lot of people believe that he doesn't deserve to be Rookie of the Year because, technically speaking, he's not really a rookie. He sat out last year because he broke his foot during the preseason. Now, looking back, the same situation happened to Ben Simmons. He sat out his first year due to injury, then won the award the next season against Donovan Mitchell. But the big difference, though, is that Chet is a legit unicorn. Not some phony unicorn like Simmons. I mean, this dude is the real deal. At 7 feet, Chet moves deceptively quick for his size. He can put the ball back on the deck, score off ball and in transition. He can handle the rock like a guard, and he can stretch the floor as well as hit buckets from range and midi. And on top of all that, how many rookies do you know in NBA history who can take and make shots like this come gut check time?
Giddy looking. Holmgren's got it, turns, fires, he hit it! He was on the line.
While the stuff that Chet is doing may not be that surprising, because basically the other premier unicorns in the league, such as AD, Cat, or Porzingis, already have been doing the things that he does for a long time now. But see, despite this, the thing that separates Chet from the pack is his efficiency. Across 48 games this season, he's been averaging 53.3% from the field, 38.2% from distance, with an effective field goal percentage of 60%. Now, aside from this, Chet has overall better teammates than Wemby, which is why he already bagged 2 Rookie of the Month awards, because OKC has been winning, and he plays a big part in that, despite the fact that Wemby is edging him out statistically from an individual standpoint. Another thing, Chet has SGA setting up the table for him. Meanwhile, Wemby has Jeremy Sohan, a guy who had 0 playing experience as a point guard until this season, serving as his facilitator. And to me, this is actually one of the big reasons why Wemby hasn't really been fully unleashed. I mean, I love Sohan with his colorful hairdos and blue-collar playstyle. As an on-court character, he's actually nice. But as a point guard, he's been nothing but a complete disaster. At first, the Jeremy experiment looked promising. Pop was thinking that he could have a big, 6'8" point guard that will run the show for his team. He was hoping that Sohan will turn out to be Magic, LeBron, or Luka. However, none of that happened, or anything close to that. He has tunnel vision, he's slow in processing plays, poor at making quick decisions. And there were a lot of times that he missed out on Wemby despite his massive frame and the fact that he's obviously open with nobody around him. To sum it all up, he's not cut out for the job, period. Now, this wasn't the only reason why Wemby was held back, because ironically, Wemby actually had a role to play in it too. See, even before he played his first NBA game, Wemby already made it clear that he doesn't want to play as a center. AD in particular also shared the same sentiment, because according to AD, he will get easily banged up if he plays center, and this is also the reason why the Lakers acquired Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes before the season started. So I kinda understand why Wemby said that, and having a more slender frame than AD made his personal decision to stay away from playing center much more sensible. Instead of playing as a traditional big, Pop played Wemby as a supersized wing, like Kevin Durant on steroids. Although he survived as a small forward, there were times where he would often settle for tough and inefficient mid-range shots, which led to misses, even though the entire arena knew that the results would have been different if he was positioned at the block, at the low post, or simply playing inside, because basically no one could stop him with his length and massive size. The good thing though was that Pop was aware that his experiment in the first half of the season wasn't working as intended, and so he tweaked his strategy and did what he was supposed to do earlier, and that is to play Wemby as a traditional center. And while doing that, he also replaced Sohan with a traditional point guard in the starting lineup, which happens to be Trey Jones. Although the Spurs continued losing, the change in position unleashed Wemby to a whole new level. See, right after December 8th, most of his numbers across the board have gone up, whether be it on rebounds, assists, blocks, shooting percentages. And what's even more shocking was that he actually tallied higher point out, despite playing less minutes than before. This to me is the turning point that would put Wemby back in the driver's seat. I mean, since he's now operating close to the basket, he can just simply shoot or dunk over people, because there's just no way teams could stop him, especially if he's planted deep in the shaded area. Now, if he's playing with his back against the basket, Wemby is skilled enough to go for a straight hook shot, or create separation by hitting a fadeaway the other way around. Either way, Wemby is equally effective in these areas playing as a center. And the thing that I think Wemby can take advantage of in playing as a traditional big is that since the defense will have their hands full on him underneath, he can find his teammates for open looks, whether it's on the cut or just standing around in the opposing corners waiting for him to kick out the ball. Simply put, Wemby has more options, regardless if it's scoring or facilitating, when he's operating in the low block as opposed to playing from the outside. Anyway, his improvement on the offensive end is just one thing, because his defense also picked up the moment he switched roles. A perfect example of this was during his first encounter with Giannis and the Bucks some 4 weeks back. See, here's Giannis going downhill against Vic. He body checks him to throw him off balance and tries to put him on a poster. However, the opposite happened as Wemby completely gobbled him like chicken dinner with this insane rejection. And right after the game, the Greek Freak had nothing but this to say to the alien.
This was your first time going up against Victor Webmanyama. What was your impression of how he played tonight?
He's unbelievable talent. Can score at will anytime he wants. Plays the right way, plays to win. It was great playing against him.
I mean, if you got the respect of an NBA champion and a two-time league MVP, it just means that you're a completely different beast than the rest. But going back to his personal battle with Chet, in their most recent encounter, Wemby let Chet know that he's not going to give an inch to him. And although the Spurs got blown out badly, Wemby dominated the game and sent a major statement against his rival.
They're going deep into his bench. Holmgren spinning, got it in Tallahassee. Nice rim run by Wembanyama flashes and spins.
See, although Chet may have won that battle, it's looking like he's about to lose the war versus Wemby. On a side note though, this may be the greatest rookie rivalry since LeBron and Melo back in 2003. And despite the fact that Wemby is slightly ahead of him right now, this is still a neck-and-neck race in my view, because Chet is not far behind in terms of stats and performance. Well, what do you guys think? Who's gonna win the Rookie of the Year between Wemby and Chet? Or is there a chance that they're gonna be tied in the end? Like what happened in '95, when Grant Hill and Jason Kidd both shared the trophy, as well as in 2000, when Steve Francis and Elton Brand were declared as co-winners. Be sure to let me know your answers by putting it on the comments section. And until then, see you in the next video.